This video is brought to you by GameAnyone.com.
Alright, so we're back. Like I said, I was going to have some complaints about the game, but before we go into that, this is probably one of the top 5 hacks. Oh, thanks Proton John and his Earblade. That's ironic. But, this is probably within the top 5 hacks that I've played so far. Easily. The only ones that I think that would rival this, Brutal Mario was really good, and Marth's hack, Super Mario World Extra. The Redux was really good. His original version wasn't as good as his end version, which makes sense, but those two are probably the only two that were better than this, and they weren't better by like a ton. And Brutal Mario was just great because of all the custom stuff, and I guess there were stars in there. That's great. We'll go through all the enemies. So, let me see if I can remember my minor complaints. And just because I have a complaint doesn't mean it was bad, obviously. And people will be like, oh, if you're going to complain, then, you know, do better yourself. Well, sometimes that's a accurate thing to say. That's an accurate thing to say. Sometimes it's not. Like, if I had really stupid complaints and marked to get, like, if I was like, oh, the pathing was glitched, so you get a 3, then that's a stupid complaint, and someone deserves to say to me, if you're so good, why don't you do better? I don't know how to make these. I'm sure I could learn, but I'm not sure I could make one as good as Brutal Mario or this or Marth's hack, so we'll just go with that. But sometimes there is a place where you can say, hey, I didn't like this, and you don't need to be said, hey, you should make one yourself so you can do better. Sometimes that works, sometimes that's applicable, sometimes not, and I usually think I'm pretty fair. Obviously, I just said this is one of the best ones I've played. Probably the 3rd or 2nd best, somewhere in there. But, that one tube that was hidden in the wall, that was kind of stupid. I know I complained a little bit about the bosses at the end, but it wasn't as bad as I originally thought. I thought it was going to take a lot longer, but it's not really artificially lengthening the game, as I said. I thought it was going to take longer. I didn't really have enough time to go into that, but now I do. So that last part wasn't so bad, but fighting them 3 times is kind of a little bit of overkill. It's not that bad, though. Can't really complain about that. But that one tube, that was stupid. That was probably the worst part of the game. Can't remember if this is the hack that had the, quicksand that you had to go in. That was kind of stupid, too. I think it was this one, or it might have been the last one I did, but some of the secret stuff that you had to find is kind of too well hidden. That tube especially. That tube is horrible. Unless I took the coins or something, there's no way to find it. I accidentally ran into the wall and found it. That was how I found it. I spent a decent amount of time on that, and I mean, if you're a game designer, you're trying to be, if you don't, make your game playable enough, people aren't going to want to play it. And I mean, sometimes games go for that, and it's like Ninja Gaiden. That's usually a really hard game that pisses people off. It pissed me off. I got pretty decent at the game. I beat Ninja Gaiden 2, but my friend is really good at Ninja Gaiden, and he's beaten like Ninja Gaiden Black on the hardest difficulty, which is pretty good. I'm pretty sure that game's notorious for being hard. But some of those hidden things were crappy. I mean, you'll figure them out eventually, but like there was that platform that went up that really you had no idea that was probably the easiest one to figure out. And then the one box in that room with the P made out of coins, that one was kind of crappy. And I don't know if the quicksand was in this game, but that's pretty self-explanatory. But that tube, that is my biggest complaint. That tube was, ugh. That was a crappy secret. Though, which is ironic, because this is one of the few hacks that I've actually found all 4 Switch Palaces. So, at the same time that he made stuff stupidly hard to find, at least that tube, which may have been stupidly hard to find for some people, but I found all the Switch Palaces, and I wasn't even trying. So, that's a good thing about the game. and I think all the rest, that was my biggest complaint. Um, the pathing kind of glitches, especially towards the end. It glitches a lot. I don't know how you could fix that, but it's more of a cosmetic type of thing. I really don't care as long as the game works fine, and it does. But you know, there are some really anal people out there who'll be like, "Oh, the pathing's glitch. This game sucks because it makes the overworld look bad." Well, that's can you do better moments, and if you can't, then nah. So it's not like I'm saying, "Hey, you need to fix that." It's if you could fix it, it would make the game look better, and it's not a major thing either. None of these are major complaints. I think like the last thing I want to talk about was custom music is pretty good, but you have only a few songs, and towards the end of the game, you've heard all of them like 20 times, and they get a tad annoying. So more custom music would be good. That's probably the most minor complaint I have. Uh, more custom music would be pretty good. Like a wider variety of songs, or you know, some levels have custom music and some of them have the original music. But anytime you have custom music, if you have the same song, if it's this long of a hack, this is a full hack, I'm guessing. Obviously, we went through 7 or 8 castles and then the final thing. If you have the same song playing over and over again, if you only have like 4 or 5 different custom songs, it's gonna get really old really fast. Because if you're like me, you're gonna notice it, and you're gonna get sick of most of the songs. There were a couple songs I liked, like the Mega Man song and the Donkey Kong Country song on the last part of the overworld, but I hate Mario Land music. I don't know why, I just hate it. I don't like it. It's bad. I think it's bad. I couldn't do better, but I still think it's not the greatest. So when you have songs that someone doesn't like in your hack, it's gonna annoy them a little bit. And that's what it kind of did to me, because there was only maybe 5 different songs that were used. But it's a completely minor thing. When a hack is really good, it's hard to find major things to complain about. So you kind of nitpick on the minor things, and I just kind of talk about it. It's not a major thing, like I've been saying. But that's probably it. I had all this extra time to talk. So, I don't know what I'm going to do next for the retro part. I don't know if I'm going to do an actual retro game or keep doing hacks. But that's it for this. This is the end of the 7 golden mushrooms, which turned out to be stars. So, see you later next time, if that makes any sense. I don't know if the creator of this hack has watched any of this or has made any changes since he gave it to me, or she. But it was pretty good. Don't have any really major complaints. And that's it. So if you make more, then they'd probably be pretty good. And that's about it.